Good morning, good morning. God bless you this morning for watching this video. You see, if God has wakened you up this morning, thank God, for He has given you more life and you are worthy to be alive simply because God has granted it, the great Yahweh. You see, this morning, I would like to talk to you about BRICS. You know, BRICS is a currency that is created from, various countries around the world. Now, we all know that the US dollar is the exclusive, basically, center of world trade currency. However, BRICS is basically a currency that is being designed, right? Right now, it's supposed to come out in November, and it's designed between the nations of India, the nations of China, right? We have Russia, we have South Africa, we have Brazil, and of course, there's different countries that want to join. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because you see, when this currency comes out in November this year, 2023, the equivalency of, one brick coin, right, is equivalent to $55 USD. And so what's going to happen is once this coin becomes the center of trades, because if China decides to trade in that currency, which of course they're going to India, right? Those two countries alone, right, make up almost half of the world. And we all know the business that people do around the world with these countries, just those two, without Russia, right? Without the other countries that I mentioned. However, we all know that eventually BRICS is going to be the centerpiece. And because if it becomes the center trading and everybody starts trading in BRICS because it's backed up by gold, right? The first gold coin. If it's backed up by gold, then people are going to start dumping the US dollar. If they dump the US dollar, then, the Western society as we know it, right? Canada, United States, Europe, like the Western first world countries will become third world countries overnight. Their money will be worthless because their importation fees, the inflations are going to skyrocket 10 times more than what we are seeing now. Meaning everything is going to be very expensive, right? It's expensive now, but it's going to be unaffordable. Mortgages are going to triple or quadruple because of this inflation, right? It's all about the money. And if people dump the US dollar, then the real estate market, yes, houses will rise in value. However, it's not going to be worth that much because compared to the BRICS, which will eventually be the center of the trading, the US dollar won't have any strength against it because it's not backed up by gold. So this is a major warning because guess what? How would it be if somebody worked so hard, paid mortgage, owned a house, and they paid well into it? And let's say they're about to finish off their mortgage, even the year or a couple of years, and they've been paying actively every single month, and they were never late. And this currency change, right, changes into BRICS. That would mean all those years that that individual or that family has been paying so much in mortgage and owning pieces of that house will all come into shambles because it won't be worth that much compared to the bricks. To put it into better perspective, if somebody was making $100,000 a year, right, USD, compared to the bricks, they would only be making about, maybe 1,200 to $1,500 compared to the bricks because of the currency change. And that's so much significance, right? That will render the US dollar into a negative aspect. Means it won't be worth anything. That means Americans won't be able to travel around the world, to those countries, right? And trade. How you doing? Right? They won't be able to do these kind of things. And so it will change the aspect, right? It will change the aspect of how our money is stronger around the world. Because if you own a lot of USD, if you own a lot of money, and you say, well, I'm planning to buy property around the world, or I'm planning to invest around the world, and you don't invest in time, right? Or you buy a lot of assets where you live, right? That assets won't be worth that much when it comes to the center of trading. So get to the point that if whatever you own, you just better take care of it, because you won't be able to afford something else because it will be so expensive. And that's what's happening around the world, right? So BRICS is something that is a major change to the financial state of people. And, a lot of nations are going to jump on because they're going to say, well, we have no choice. Our money does not match up. It will be the highest currency because the US dollar is the center right now. But if it changes and people start dumping the treasury and all of these things, then changing their stocks, changing their currency, jumping onto BRICS and disowning the US dollar, then we don't have a chance. A lot of governments around the world, especially in Africa, has been warning their citizens about them and their investments in the US dollar. If they do, they should sell it and change over as soon as possible. So the best bet is to own a lot of gold, right? Because gold is something that the new currency is backed up by. So if you have gold, right, you are in a way safe, meaning if you have a lot of US dollar, my suggestion is you find gold to buy. Because if you find gold to buy, then your money is safe. But if you don't buy gold, right, and you keep it in your US dollar, right, then you're going to lose a lot of value, in a quick period of time, right? Imagine waking up, you had $100,000 or $200,000 in your bank account. All of a sudden, right, you lose that, and that 200,000 becomes value of $2,000 BRICS dollars, right? So that will bring a lot of, panic and problems, because you were once able to take care of all your needs, and now you cannot do so because you're in the wrong side of the world, right? Which you were always in the right side, and now, right, you become broke because of that decision that you did not make. And so I urge people to try to change the way they do things, and to make better decisions and find out what is going on in the financial world, because this is something that's going to affect every sector. If you own lots of houses, you gotta rethink about it, because either you're gonna be able to keep it, but then if your mortgage is too high, you won't be able to pay for it. Do you see what I mean? Because the mortgage rates will be too high. Things will be quadruple the prices, and you won't simply have enough. Even though you're well off, you won't have enough to take care of your mortgages and take care of your property and your taxes and all of these things. You won't be able to have, simply because all of those things would skyrocket, and it will be very hard for you to keep up with the payments. Whereas in, if you decided to start, purchasing gold and tucking it away, then when that comes, right, you can trade it for the value of the bricks, and you can make a lot of money, because it didn't matter where you live. If your currency is changing to gold, then when the new bricks come, and if it becomes the center, which most likely it will be, right? Because I know they're talking about the digital currency and they're trying to go forth with the digital currency, but the bricks is just around the corner. And if all of those countries and different continents decide to, become one with that, then what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen? We are going to lose. So I am saying, everybody seems like they want to basically take out the American dollar, right? Because they feel like if they want to they want to seriously attack America, they're not going to attack them physically, they're going to attack them financially, because it's a financial war, right? And that's exactly what's happening. And if it's a financial war, if China, takes over India, right? We have Brazil, we have Russia, of course, right? And I know, in a way, Russia led this to that position, right? And of course, other countries are going to jump on, all across Africa, all across Europe. Eventually, all of them is going to join, and they're going to dump the US dollar. And if they do, right, in the near future, then this side of the world is going to be in shambles financially. And if it's financially in shambles, then everything that you have saved for so many years, everything that you own, is going to be hardly impossible to pay and take care of. So you'll lose it. So let me know what you guys think of this. I think prepare by storing away gold. If you can afford to buy gold, ounces of gold and stuff like that, just buy it, put it aside. You know what I mean? Because invest, take your funds, your savings, put it in gold. Keep it to the side. Save it. Because when the time comes, gold does not depreciate, the value won't drop, and you can trade it for bricks dollars, which exclusively will be significantly higher than every dollar. Because if you want to buy things overseas, you would have to trade in that currency. Because if China says, you know what, we want it in bricks, think of all those things that are being bought from China every single day, right? Think of all those things that are being bought from India every single day, right? They can specifically, because they provide such a major margin of services around the world, all they have to do is start accepting in bricks and not accept anything in the US dollar. And then every nation is going to be forced, because, you're going to have to deal business with these countries, right? Because they have such a major impact in our society today. Think of all the things that are coming from the shores of China. Think of all those things that are coming from the shores of India, right? Think of it. Every corner of the earth, there has to be something in their household, at least one or two things in every single household that, is coming from China. Next, India, right? With the rice importation, if they stop it and say, yo, we're gonna accept things in what's it called, BRICS, those two countries, right? Those two countries in Asia makes up almost half of the world. Hmm? And there's more. So if those two countries, which they have decided because they're part of the BRICS, then we're gonna we're gonna have to trade in that. And if we trade in that, we are in problems. Hmm? Those people that own US dollars would have no foundation to lay it on because it's not backed up by gold. If it was, then the BRICS won't work, but it's not. And the BRICS is backed up by gold. This is serious, right? It's very serious. That means all the things that you're doing for years and months and weeks and all of that will mean nothing. All the savings would disappear overnight. It will shrink, right? Because paper is nothing compared to gold. So think about what I said, man. Stay motivated, stay focused, like, comment, and share this exclusive video because, to be honest, this is something serious. If you don't take it seriously, right, it will affect you if you own a lot of US dollar. If you're a millionaire right now, that is something that you should be, looking to change, you know? Change your millions into gold currency. Find gold. If you could go to the banks, buy some gold from the banks. If whoever you can buy gold, and make sure it's gold, the currency, places or whatever the case is, where you can get a good deal in buying gold, buy it. The purer the better. But if you keep it and you save it, you're in problems. Because when the conversion changes and everybody starts doing major businesses, right? The stock markets, everything starts doing businesses in BRICS because it's very easy because of China and India. Because those two are powerhouses. You call those two the elephants of the market. When they move, everybody has to move. When they change, everybody has to change because they have such a major impact. Thank you for listening, guys. God bless you and have a nice day. Bye now. Au revoir.